Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. Welcome to this presentation on DTC P0463, which stands for Fuel Level Sensor Circuit High Voltage. This error pertains specifically to the 2006 to 2011 Honda Civic vehicles. The fuel level sensor, also known as the fuel gauge sending unit, is the component responsible for measuring the amount of fuel in the tank. This information is crucial as it provides the driver with accurate readings on the fuel gauge, ensuring proper refueling and vehicle operation. When this error occurs, it indicates a high voltage issue within the sensor circuit, potentially misleading the driver about their fuel levels. Understanding the root of this error will assist in correct diagnosis and repair. The fuel level sensor, the primary component related to DTC P0463, plays a vital role in determining the amount of fuel available in the tank. This sensor is located directly within the fuel tank, measuring the fuel level and sending this data to the vehicle's engine control unit, ECU. The ECU processes this information and relays it to the fuel gauge on the dashboard, allowing drivers to gauge how much fuel is left in the tank. When the circuit experiences high voltage, it misrepresents the actual fuel level, potentially resulting in a driver running out of fuel unexpectedly. It's essential to evaluate this component carefully during the troubleshooting process to ensure accurate diagnostics. Keep in mind that other electrical components, like wiring and connectors, can also impact the performance of the fuel level sensor. There are several potential causes for the DTC P0463 error code. First, a faulty fuel level sensor could be directly responsible, rendering it unable to provide accurate readings. Another common cause could be a short circuit in the wiring harness, which would lead to higher than normal voltage figures. In addition, loose or corroded electrical connections can disrupt the proper flow of electricity within the circuit, triggering this error. It's important not to overlook the electrical integrity of the connections when troubleshooting. Each of these causes contributes to the overall functionality of the fuel level sensor and should be investigated carefully to pinpoint the problem accurately. When DTC P0463 is triggered, several symptoms may manifest. The most prominent symptom is inaccurate fuel gauge readings, which may cause the fuel gauge to appear stuck on full even when the tank is empty. This misrepresentation can lead to driver confusion and potential fuel loss, posing safety risks. Additionally, warning lights on the dashboard may illuminate, alerting the driver to a problem with the fuel monitoring system. It's crucial to note these symptoms as they guide troubleshooting efforts and help confirm the existence of the DTC. Addressing these symptoms early on can prevent more serious issues stemming from running out of fuel unexpectedly. In troubleshooting DTC P0463, the first step is to turn the ignition switch to the on second position. This action powers the vehicle's electronic systems, allowing for diagnostic checks. It's essential also to record all freeze data and any onboard snapshot, as this data provides valuable insights into the vehicle's operation leading up to the error. After recording this data, reviewing the general troubleshooting information is critical for successful diagnosis. Each of these steps lays the groundwork for a structured approach, ensuring that no vital information is overlooked during the troubleshooting process. By being methodical from the outset, you set your diagnostic efforts on a solid foundation. The next step involves using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear the DTC. It's important to clear the code and then wait for approximately 5 seconds to ensure that the system can re-establish baseline functionality. Following this interval, it's essential to check for any pending or confirmed DTCs. If DTC P0463 is indicated, troubleshooting should proceed, as this confirms the ongoing issue. On the other hand, if no DTC is present, this may suggest an intermittent failure within the system. Situations like this might require further inspection of connection integrity and terminal tightness at the gauge control module and the fuel gauge sending unit. For the third troubleshooting step, turn the ignition switch to the lock 0 position to cut off power to the vehicle's electrical systems. This is a safety measure before performing any disassembly. Next, remove the rear seat cushion to gain access to the area where the fuel tank unit is located. Following this, you will need to remove the rear floor upper cross member and the access panel from the floor to further expose the fuel tank unit. This step is crucial, as it prepares you to examine the fuel tank unit and its connectors. Accessing these components allows for a thorough inspection that is essential for resolving the DTC P0463 effectively. In this step, you will disconnect the fuel tank unit's 4P connector. This action isolates the fuel tank assembly from the rest of the vehicle's electrical system, allowing for accurate testing. After disconnecting the connector, turn the ignition switch back to the on position, ensuring that power is supplied to the system for testing purposes. Next, measure the voltage between terminals number 1 and number 3 of the fuel tank unit 4P connector. It's important to reference the color codes correctly. Terminal number 1 should be the signal wire, orange, and terminal number 3 is the ground wire, light green. Establishing whether battery voltage is present at these terminals will significantly inform the next steps in the troubleshooting process. After measuring the voltage at the 4P connector, determine whether battery voltage is present. If battery voltage is detected, you will proceed to step 17 for further troubleshooting, indicating that the circuit itself isn't the problem. On the contrary, if no voltage is present at this stage, you will need to follow step 10, where further isolation of components is required for diagnosis. Assessing for component issues like shorts or poor connections is crucial, as these problems might lead to insufficient voltage readings, contributing to the DTC P0463 error. Understanding each measurement taken will help clarify the components that need attention to resolve the error effectively. If you discovered that there was no battery voltage in the previous steps, this step involves reconnecting the fuel tank unit 4P connector and utilizing a jumper wire for further tests. Connect terminal number 3 of the connector, which is the ground wire, light green, to the vehicle's body ground with the jumper wire. This method will help identify whether the issue lies within the ground circuit. Once this connection is made, remove the gauge control module, TAC, and disconnect its 36P connector for further testing. It is essential to check for continuity between gauge control module, TAC, 36P connector terminal number 33, and body ground. Establishing continuity here will provide crucial evidence in determining the source of the problem. After conducting the necessary repairs, it is vital to verify that everything is functioning correctly before concluding the process. Start by testing the fuel gauge to ensure it operates accurately, reflecting proper fuel levels. Confirm that no DTCs are present upon reevaluation, as this indicates that the repair has addressed the core issue. Make sure that all connections, whether related to the fuel level sensor or gauge control module, are secure and properly seated, as loose connections can inadvertently trigger the error code again. Thoroughly checking these aspects reassures the technician that the DTC P0463 has been resolved successfully and that the vehicle is back to optimal operation. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P0463, it's important to adopt a proactive maintenance strategy. One vital preventive measure is regularly checking the fuel gauge's functionality to catch issues before they escalate. Additionally, inspecting electrical connectors for signs of corrosion or damage is critical, as these can significantly impair electrical flow. Keeping electrical connections clean and free of debris also enhances reliability and performance. With attention to these maintenance practices, you significantly reduce the likelihood of encountering the DTC P0463 error code in the future, thus ensuring a more reliable and efficient vehicle operation. In conclusion, understanding the role of the fuel level sensor is crucial for effective troubleshooting of DTC P0463. Following the detailed troubleshooting steps enables technicians to isolate the problem accurately, whether it lies within the sensor itself or the circuit. Regular preventive maintenance checks further ensure lasting vehicle performance, allowing drivers the confidence that their fuel gauge is operating correctly. By combining accurate diagnostics with routine maintenance practice, owners can avoid unexpected issues and enhance their driving experience. Ultimately, this process not only resolves the current DTC, but also instills long-term reliability in the Honda Civic. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.